Hello, all, and welcome back to another weekly update. This week we are actually in Valentine's Day, so we got some nutritional stuff to talk about. So let's get into it. Let me back up a step. Let's go to exercise first, because there's not a whole lot to update on the exercise front. Really, this is the first week where I feel like I've maybe start to hit a plateau of where I'm really gonna hit the grind. Like it's weights, reps, all this stuff is starting to kind of level off where I'm really finding things super challenging and it's getting really hard to progress things. So this is the first week where I really hit the grind, I feel like, and it's really challenging to kind of push things to progress. So I feel like have got over that initial phase of kind of that re-education phase of getting my muscles used to working again, getting my mind-muscle connection going. Now that that's back, now it's really into like muscle strength building at this point, and that's where kind of rubber meets the road and things get kind of tough. So not a huge update on the exercise front, except for the fact that I feel like I'm hitting that kind of limit when it comes to pushing weights. But really, nutrition-wise, this is a big week for that because there's a lot going on with that. Like I said, it's Valentine's Day week. Let me rephrase that. It is Valentine's week. What that means for our family is we have Valentine's Day and birthday, because my middle child, she just turned 13. Her birthday is the day after Thanksgiving. So what we had going on this week nutrition-wise is kind of nuts. My oldest daughter was invited to a high school dance, and we went out to eat dinner with the parents and them. And so we had a dinner that day. And then we had, of course, Valentine's Day, which our traditions usually is to get takeout food and have like a at-home picnic with takeout food. In the past, it was always Chinese takeout, but now there's a hibachi Japanese takeout in town that we really love. That place, it tastes so good. So that's what we opted for this Valentine's Day. So that was that. And then my daughter's birthday is the day after Valentine's Day, and of course, she really enjoys Mexican food, so she wanted to go eat Mexican. So we had to do that. Because that's one of the things. Our birthdays with our kids are done a little differently. We really don't get them presents. My wife will usually buy them a couple small things to open on their birthday, but your birthday, you get to choose where we eat dinner. If you want to go out to eat dinner, you can choose where we go out to eat. So she chose Mexican. But for the birthday, otherwise, what we do is we give them experiences. So the kids can kind of pick what they want to do for the day within reason. To give you an example, like the oldest, she turned 15 back in December. She wanted to go ice skating. She wanted to go shopping. She wanted to go eat lunch at a certain place and go get a coffee at a coffee shop. So that's what we did for her birthday. Not too bad. I don't know why she chose ice skating. She really likes it, but we ice skate once a year for her birthday, and that's about it. So we're not very skilled at it. It's pretty rough going, but it's what she wants, and that's her birthday. So. But then she just turned 13. She wanted a shopping day. And also with that, I mean, we let them pick who they want to go with. You can go with just mom, just dad, mom and dad, everybody, the whole family. Pick who you want to go with. So she wanted to go shopping. And initially she was wanting like a girls' day shopping, maybe with like my wife and her sister to go shopping. But then she changed her mind and decided, well, I want to go shopping with mom and dad, and then go out to eat. So and this week we've had 4 days of eating out. And when you're trying to really watch your intake, watch your calories, man, that is super, super rough to do. I mean, I spent some time looking at menus, trying to figure out what are some healthier options at some of these places. But you're talking about like hibachi takeout. There's not really a healthy option. I mean, you can have like chicken, steak, shrimp, lobster with like either fried rice or noodles. I mean, and they load you up big time when it comes to portions. In the past, I would just usually get like a steak noodle because they give you so many noodles and they're really good. This time, what I decided, I'm like, well, I'm going to get chicken and shrimp. I'm just going to eat the chicken and shrimp, a little bit of the rice, and then divide the rice up between, the rest of the family. Whoever wants my rice, they can have the rest of it. Because it's so much, and I just can't eat that much of it. But that way, I guess I was quote-unquote the healthier option because I was getting more protein than anything. I had a little bit of the rice just because it tastes so good and it goes good with it. But even like the other restaurants, I mean, one of them's kind of a variety. They've got all kinds of stuff, and I ended up just getting a steak because that's just straight up good protein. I was like, I'll just have a steak, side of green beans, not too bad. Mexican restaurant, you get chicken. I usually get the choripollo, which is chorizo and chicken. Chorizo is like a spicy Mexican sausage and chicken. So I eat that with some of the beans, but when I get my food, at least what I'm trying to do with that is portion it out right away. In the past, you get it, you eat all of it, and whatever you have left over, you put in a box, you take home, if you have any at all to take home. But what I tried to do, especially this week, seeing as we're eating out 4 times this week, it's like once you get your food, it's like, all right, I'm going to eat this much of my food. The rest of it's just like out of my mind. Like it's not even there. It just doesn't exist. And probably what I should do is just when they bring my food, say, can you bring me a to-go box with it? And then I could just take out what I'm not going to eat, put that in the to-go box, close it, push it off to the side, and then just eat what I say I'm going to eat. But at a Mexican restaurant, they give you the free chips. You got to have the free chips. Who doesn't eat the free chips? And salsa. It's just a must. But you got to, again, you got to portion yourself up. Like, I'm only going to eat just a certain number of chips, or just have a number in my mind, or just kind of a stopping point in my head. Otherwise, it's so easy just to keep grabbing chips and just keep going. And it's just crazy. So any of these places, yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to do, especially this week, is just pick out what I want to eat that's higher in protein compared to everything else on the menu, something that I can just split in half or just kind of cut myself off at a certain point. Because when you look at the calorie content of some of these, takeout places, and you kind of just estimate how many calories are in these dishes you're getting from a takeout like hibachi or a Mexican restaurant, oh my gosh. Like my daily allowance is somewhere around like what I mentioned in another episode, like 2,300. I think in like the Mexican restaurant, I could easily get to 1,700 calories in one meal if I ate the whole thing. That's one meal. Holy cow. Breakfast, I'm usually around 300 calories. If I had breakfast in that would be pretty much it for the day. And I'd like to space out food a little bit more than that, but that's just insane how many calories you can put in your system in one of these meals. So eating out has definitely been a challenge this week. A lot going on with eating out. Hopefully it calms down, because I like eating meals throughout the week at home, cooking where I'm cooking. I know the content of what I'm making and what's in it, and how healthy or unhealthy it is. I know what I'm eating. I know how much I'm putting in my body. When you're eating out, it's so much, some of it's guesswork. It's like I need to just kind of estimate. And I don't know, I usually try to estimate on the high end of things, but even then, maybe I'm not estimating high enough. I don't know. Because then even with my daughter's birthday, we got to get her there's a place locally that sells these angel food cupcakes that are just absolutely amazing. And so we got her those. That's her, she didn't get cake and ice cream. She got those for her cake. But I know next week is my birthday, so I got to come up with an option, or come up with a food option, or what I'm going to do for my birthday, so that I don't want to make it too challenging. I want to make it pretty simple, but I want to at least treat the family and treat myself for my birthday at the same time. I don't want to feel like I'm cheating myself. Because with this nutrition change, I want to make sure I'm eating foods that I enjoy still, but I'm not like gorging myself on stuff. And I'm just very cognizant of what I'm putting in my body and how much I'm burning and how much I'm using at the same time. So that's one of the big challenges, I guess, with making this big old lifestyle change and big old habit change of going, from not really paying a whole lot of attention to what I'm eating, just kind of eating whatever, whenever, to really focusing and dialing it back and getting it to a decent level where it's going to help me lean up a little bit more and get healthier. So I can maybe get my cholesterol down a little bit, my waist size down, and feel a bit more comfortable with where I'm at. So it's a challenge, that's for sure. This week has been one of the more challenging ones. And the other thing, which I forgot to mention too, what I do with home health therapy, I discharged a patient, and I had kind of joked with them at their prior visit that, oh, you're going to graduate therapy, so we got to get some cake and ice cream for your graduation party. And of course, then when I was leaving for their final visit, like, oh, we got you something. And they handed me a cake. Like, yeah, you said something about cake and ice cream. We didn't get you ice cream, but we baked you a cake. So they handed me this cake. It's like, okay, now I got this cake. And then you go to the next patient's house, like, oh, I made you some cookies. So you're like, oh my gosh, I got a patient making me a cake. I got a patient making me cookies. I know I got to go out to eat for my daughter's birthday. I know I got to go out to eat for my daughter going to a dance. I know I got to go. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to eat for Valentine's Day. This week has been rough, man. But we're we're getting through it. The week's not entirely over yet. I'm recording this a little earlier than usual, but we're making it. And I'm just kind of been tracking my way through the week and tracking my stuff, and we're getting there. This is a tough one, but we'll come out ahead in the end. In terms of random stuff, really not a whole lot. Nutrition's kind of taken over my whole thought process this week. I've really been focusing in on that. Oh, I know. Well, I guess one not so random thing. I did get a Twitter account, or an X account, if you want to say. I had previously had one, and I got rid of it. Actually, I think I got hacked, and then I just never dealt with it. But I never really got on Twitter or X or any of that stuff to mess with it. But I ended up getting one, and then I've been kind of posting on there, and what I'm doing with that is I'm just kind of posting like a random stupid PT joke / tip / advice, just really lighthearted, silly stuff every day, just trying to post on there daily. Just kind of keep things lighthearted. I'm not really posting anything with the podcast or any of this stuff there, but that is one thing that is new or different. I haven't been on that platform in a while, and I can see why it's a bit addictive, because it's easy to scroll through there and see what people are posting and sharing, and different news things, political things, or just life in general. There's a lot going on that platform. There's a lot of social media crap out there, but I try to stay off it for the most part. But yeah, I think it's, well, let me go to it real quick because I don't remember what it is. It is at Tom the PTGG. At Tom the PTGG. So if you do get on Twitter, check that out. Give it a follow. You can see what kind of random junk I'm posted on there. Otherwise, we'll cut this one a little bit short because I don't have much else to talk about. Next week is my birthday week, so when we come back for the next episode, we'll tell you about what happened with my birthday. If anything at all exciting happened. It's to the point in my life where birthdays aren't terribly exciting anymore, but stay tuned for the next one, because I will be another year older then. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. Take care.